I bought the 5 cheapest instruments on Amazon. A ukulele, a melodica, a violin named Poseidon, and a guitar. Oh yeah, and this thing right here. This thing is so cool. The first instrument I bought was this AAT Tone. When I saw this thing online for the first time, I was like, let me get my hands on one of these. And I finally got one, so I guess we're gonna use it now. There's an orange switch, and then there's a low and mid and high, so we're gonna see what they all do. Huh? Oh! And then you have a medium setting, which is... Oh my god! Oh, you can put that cello! Yo, this thing does vibrato like it's a cello. And then this is the high setting. Since I played every song I possibly can play on this thing, we're gonna rate it now. Now this thing is pretty annoying, like the sound. It's an annoying whoopee cushion sound, so I'm gonna give it like a solid 4. For looks, I ain't gonna lie, this presentation is fire. This might be the only 10 I see, I'm not gonna lie. And for durability, I'm not gonna lie, this thing kinda has like a whole little hole. I kinda feel like Dwayne when he was slinging it around. This feels pretty flimsy, so I'm gonna give this like a 2 for durability, and so in total that would bring it to a solid 10 plus 4 plus 2, 16 out of 30, which isn't the best score, but it isn't the worst score. The next instrument we have purchased from Amazon is a violin, and this is from the Poseidon brand, and it was about $90, so I mean this is about to be what a $90 violin sounds like. What they don't tell you is, man, these cheap violins, man, when you're trying to tune it and turn these things, boy, I feel like you're just turning with a knife, bro. Oh my god. I have been tuning this thing for like 10 minutes. This is the closest it's gonna get. But the only way to know how it's gonna sound is we're gonna put it through the test. I tried my best, y'all. This thing is gonna keep slipping out of tune, so just take this with a grain of salt. Intermediate song. Honestly, like if you were looking for a violin, this is probably gonna be the lowest rated thing. Now, this could be because I'm a violinist and I'm taking this thing to heart, but I just know you could get so much better for $100. Hard. Yo. Let's grab a real violin just to see the difference. $1,000, $100. Can you hear the difference? It just sounds so like hollow and weak all in this area right here. So now let's rank it. I'm gonna give this thing a 10 for how it looks, because you can't tell me this ain't beautiful. Like, this is it right here. Now for sound, I'm gonna have to give this thing a 2 because it just doesn't produce sound. You can't even really put the bow on the string and get good traction or grip. You just can't. And then for durability, I'm gonna give this thing a solid 2 because it just won't stay in tune. This is gonna be a 13 out of 30. Next instrument. So this instrument is a melodica. It's basically just like a baby piano. You use your mouth. I don't know. I saw John Batiste with this. Boy, if you don't get... Whoa, I didn't realize I had weak lungs and I don't even smoke. Okay, I see where this could become inefficient. If you don't have the lung capacity for this thing, you're not making no noise. Yo, it is hard to like remember where you are when you lose your breath. Like, this thing looks really good, so I'm gonna give it a solid 8. It sounds like, I mean, it doesn't really sound like a piano. It sounds more like a harmonica / accordion, so I have to go 5 because it doesn't really sound like a piano. It's just like a piano-shaped object. And this thing feels durable. Like, it feels like it could pass the drop test. So overall, this thing is a good 23 out of 30, which isn't bad at all. Like, you can buy this if you just want to mess around and play with it. The next instrument is the Davidon electric guitar. It came in a pretty standard case. Cases, whatever. I'm not going to judge it off the case. I was expecting when I press down on this thing to have bloody fingers when I come back up. Oh, I already got one turning in? Okay, this is a bad sign. One of these little box thingies are already starting to, I forgot, I'm blanking on what they're called right now. They're turning in right now, which is just a telltale sign of something's going wrong. Can you hear the rattling? If your guitar doesn't sound like good without the amp, probably isn't the best guitar in the world. But there is an age-old discussion of, can a good amp replace a bad guitar? My amp is pretty decent. It's like a Mustang Fender, so it's not the best in the world, but it's also not like the worst thing in the world, so let's play with an amp now.
Yep. You asked for it, bitch.
I don't feel it. I don't feel it, and this thing slips out of tune every other second. Last thing we gotta do with this guitar is rank it, and I'm just gonna say right now, the look of it, so it's a 5. Like, it doesn't look good. This is a guitar-shaped object.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
The ringing is going to get old really quickly, I'm not gonna lie. That's why I'm giving the sound a 3. And durability, I feel like in a couple months, this thing is gonna fold inwards, and changing the strings is gonna be a hassle because you're gonna have to, no, don't even buy this guitar. This is the only do not buy on the list. Don't buy this at all. Durability is a 2 out of 10. This is a do not buy. You will not enjoy this for a long period of time. The last instrument is a ukulele. This is supposed to be some fun, light stuff you just get for like your kid to see if he has any musical interest. You just give it to them. And realistically, we're gonna test it with the only song we should be playing on this thing. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is a true Amazon instrument. This feels like it can get the job done no matter what you're doing. $20, it gets the job done. Rock jam, ukulele, this is what I'm talking about. Durability, this feels like it's gonna last me a good year. Like, this feels like if I tune this thing wrong, it's gonna fall apart. That's how it's supposed to feel. Looks like a ukulele 10. Sound,
Perfect.
for the durability, this isn't an instrument I expect to have for the rest of my life. Like, this is probably like a 6-month instrument, and that's how it's supposed to serve. Like, I'm giving this thing a full-on 30. Like, this instrument is a 30. It checks every box you need. Of every instrument I just showed you, this is the one you should be buying.